Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. I have done some videos talking about these reversal setups. It's called I call them RSI reversal setups because they revolve around using the RSI indicator, which I have down here. Normally, reading above 90 to me is very overbought. It's usually when the stock starts to hit my radar as a potential short or like a potential reversal to the downside candidate. And then when the RSI trades underneath 20, it's typically the point where I'm keeping an eye on something for an oversold bounce or an oversold recovery. I mean, after the stock getting really washed out to the downside, right? Um, Moderna, I know, was probably on a lot of people's radar coming into the week when it really just started to well, actually, it started last week, and then it was announced that it was going to be included in the S&P, and it just took off to the races. And I mean, this week Monday up huge, and then Tuesday was up huge again, and basically once it got to the 340 range, the RSI started to get very close to that 90, and it ended up leading to just a gigantic high volume, heavy reversal to the downside, right? Now, at the moment, you can see that the stock hasn't really extended after having that huge volume reversal, right? And there's a couple of things I just want to point out, and when it comes to these type of trades, there's a couple of things that I keep in mind when I'm trading options on them. Implied volatility, right? So when a stock is going parabolic, you will oftentimes see the prices on both sides, so both the calls and the puts, really start to see the premiums expand, right? So I'm sure you've noticed this, that if you're in the puts on a stock that's going parabolic, you can actually sometimes see the puts go up even as the stock is going up because people are starting to step in. Implied volatility is expanding. People are starting
Test
to
radio,
bid up.
test radio.
People are starting to bid up the protection on the downside, right? So when you have a scenario where the implied volatility is expanding as the stock is going parabolic, you have to be mindful that when that parabolic move stops, that the implied volatility could also contract too, right? So when you're looking at options that are like maybe a little bit further out of the money because you think that there could be a bigger reversal, when you get that first swoosh and then maybe the stock starts chopping around, if you're sitting in options that are out of the money, you have to kind of weigh whether that there's still a chance for it to really have a significant move, or are you going to be waiting for like a new setup, right? Because what you don't want is to have a stock start to like chop and consolidate and then see like those implied volatility on the options really start to contract, right? Because as the stock goes parabolic, implied volatility expands, and then when the stock stops going parabolic, the implied volatility contracts. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Second, sometimes what I'll do is look for the first move, right? So this is more of like day trading. So like option wise, maybe look for like the first fast flush, right? And then oftentimes I feel like the second move could actually be a little bit better, a little bit more consistent, a little bit more follow through, right? So what I would be looking for, not necessarily RSI reversal setup in this case, but I'd be looking for like a technical setup, right? So I'd be looking for a higher low, right? And then on the downside, probably a lower low. So meaning that I would prefer to not see Moderna trade back above the Tuesday high. And then if it were to take out the Tuesday and Wednesday low, that'd be a lower high followed by a lower low, and it could lead to a more sustained move to the downside, right? So that'd be a scenario where, it might be, instead of like a day trade, it might be more of like a week-long trade or even like a couple week type trade. All right. So I know that there's a lot of people looking at the stock, a lot of people trading it, but it was on my mind, and I wanted to like talk about it because there are some things you really need to kind of keep in mind when you're trading these types of patterns. It's not just Moderna. I mean, it's just these types of patterns in general. There's a little nuances when it comes to the options on them. All right. So we're in earnings season. Lots of things moving. A lot of stocks. A lot of stocks going to be reported next week. I feel like it's going to be a crazy week. So buckle up. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading options or swing trading options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.